Year to you. Hope you're well, and we're back now doing our weekly vlog newsletter, and this week we've had a huge amount of deliveries come in from a couple of manufacturers, one of which is relatively new to us again for the first time in a couple of years, and one that we've been selling a huge amount of lately and are probably now top of the tree from a manufacturer of golf clubs, and that's Callaway. And what's fresh through the door these last couple of days is these bad boys, the new Callaway Apex Pro forged head, absolutely gorgeous, and just about as good looking a club as you can possibly think of making. And as you can see, I've just been hitting a couple, and I've just stuck the standard Elevate 95 gram shaft in stiff into it, and where I don't play, and I'm trying to get back into it, but I don't play quite as much golf as I did, sometimes the thought of using a club like this and for myself can be a little bit concerning if it's been maybe a few days since I picked up a golf club. But I've got to say, out of all the models they've made of this Apex Pro so far, this is by far the best. I've been currently using a Callaway Road Pro, which is more of a cavity back cast club, which is very nice, but doesn't feel anywhere as good as this. So on hitting it at first, I was a bit concerned I wouldn't be getting good enough quality strike out the centre of the club, not often enough. And a couple of times on hitting it, I have missed it out of the centre a touch, but the ball speed it carries off of a relatively small cavity and a very bladed looking club is amazing. And I'd say when I've flushed it, it goes as far as my Road Pro from what I can tell in the early few hits that I've hit. Obviously I haven't hit it outside yet because it's absolutely freezing out there. But yes, available now, ready for fitting, various steel shafts, graphite, full custom fit. I believe the actual launch date is early Feb, so we can get you fitted first in the queue for a set of these bad boys. My recommendation would be probably, depending, I like to pigeonhole people's golf clubs by their handicap, but you would aim round about single figures and below, unless you're maybe 12, 13 and a very good ball striker, then these might be a very good investment if you're looking in the new year for a new set of clubs. Now the other one that's come in, which I've used the previous model before of, is the standard Apex forged, again, club head, but it's made up of 2 or 3 components in the head to produce this nice big cavity hollowed out head, which produces very, very, very good ball speeds or distance from quite a few misses on the club face, hence why I've used it in the past. So they've just redone it for the first time in about 2.5 years, the old Apex, and the difference is if you've seen the club before or used it in the past and thinking of reinvesting, to me what I can see is the club is less offset, so the front edge of the club is sitting further forward and less set back from the front edge of the hosel now. So a better player would probably enjoy the look of that. You feel like you're not going to hit it left, like you could possibly feel that way in the older set. From what I can tell, I think the top edge ever so slightly is a tiny bit thinner. From the back, obviously, it looks similar, slightly different Apex badge in the back here. But the biggest key I've found, distance very similar, maybe a touch more forgiving on the missed hits. But to me, the feel's got a bit more of a forged feel to it now. Whereas even though it was forged in the past, it still felt a bit clicky and a little bit firm when comparing it to maybe a traditional blade or the Apex Pro. But this is going to suit an awful lot of players who want the forgiveness, want the distance, but can miss-hit it a little bit here and there, because this will still get you on the green even if you have hit it off the bottom or the toe end of the club. Again, comes in as standard the Elevate shaft, Very many options available in graphite, and again, full custom fit. Again, launch date is early Feb, but you can come and get a custom fit now. The last two items I've got in here this afternoon are these two bad boys. Epic Flash driver 3-wood. Now, the Rogue has been probably their hottest selling, most expensive club ever for Callaway this past 12 months. And the Epic obviously was the predecessor to that. And a lot of people kind of thought, oh, well, the Rogue was taken over from the Epic because maybe the Epic was weak in a couple of areas. Apparently no, the Epic is a separate selling line and slightly higher spec with the newer research and development in it. I've quickly hit a couple of these, and the things I noticed straight away with my golf swing anyway, I've just stuck an even flow Project X 60 gram stiff shaft, good quality in both of them. Obviously the 3-wood is 65 grams, a little bit heavier because it's a shorter club. The 3-wood to me is absolutely amazing. I've got the Rogue 3-wood, which is just ridiculous on ball speeds and power.